Hi everyone, welcome to another session in our virtual admitted student week. We are so glad that you're here tuning in from wherever you are around the world, and we hope that this week can be helpful for you as you're making just this important decision on where to go to school next. So hopefully throughout this week you can get your questions answered, you can get more clarity, you can hear about the things that you want to hear about. But if there's something that maybe we missed or you just want to hear more about, feel free to reach out to your admissions counselor. I know I can speak for all of us when I say that we're more than happy to help you. And if we don't know the answer, we will find out the answer for you. So feel free to reach out to your counselor and ask any questions that you might have. So my name is Nadia. I am one of the freshman admissions counselors. So basically, I work with a group of first-time students who are coming to Biola. I work with them all the way from the application process to actually enrolling and coming to Biola in the fall. So I have now been in this position for about 2 years. This is my second year working with another group of students. I have really just loved getting to know students and their families and hearing more about their life as they're deciding if Biola is the right place. And I know from my personal experience, my admissions counselor and the admissions staff played a big part in me coming to Biola. So I hope that if any of you are my students, or you can also reach out to your own counselor again, that we can be of as much help as possible to see if Biola is the right place for you. So like I mentioned, I am a graduate of Biola. I graduated in 2018 and started this job pretty much immediately after I graduated. So I haven't left Biola, but for good reason, because I have loved my time here, both as a student, a staff member, and also now as a master's student. I have just really appreciated all of the help that I have received from staff, faculty, and also just the classes that I've taken, the ways that it's really shown me more about God, shown me more about myself, and helped me really see the world in a different perspective. I know that if you are like me, you're probably wondering, Nadia, this is a great school and I want to come, but I just don't know how to make it work financially. I don't know if my parents can afford it. There might be other options that might be more affordable, and Biola is just too expensive. I totally get it. I was in the same position. I did not know how I was going to afford Biola. I just kept praying that God would make it clear to me if this was where I needed to be. And obviously, He did, because I went, but it did not come without just a lot of work and applying for scholarships, and also just seeking out different ways that it could be more affordable for me and for my family. So today in this session, we are going to talk about basically all things scholarships, from Biola scholarships, outside scholarships, to my own personal experience, and just ways that it can be easier for you to look for scholarships and hopefully make Biola a reality. So let's jump in. So the first thing that we are going to talk about is Biola specific scholarships. So if you're an incoming student, you should be hopefully receiving an academic scholarship. So for incoming freshmen, these range from $10,000 to $20,000 per year. And for transfer students, these range from $8,000 to $13,500 per year. So specifically, since I work with incoming freshmen, I have a little more experience with the freshman scholarships. But with all of our scholarships, they are renewable every year that you're at Biola, as long as you keep a minimum GPA. So we don't want you to feel so stressed out that you're going to lose your scholarship and you can't stay at Biola. So we've definitely made these GPAs attainable. We've made them to where it's possible for you to keep your scholarship, keep your grades up, while also having a life, having a social life, being involved in clubs and ministries and all the things that come with college. So we definitely want you to be keeping your grades up, but we don't want you to feel like if you don't have a 4.0 like you did in high school, that you're going to lose all the money that we give you. We definitely don't want to do that. So again, these are renewable for your time at Biola. So that is probably the biggest scholarship that you will receive from Biola. On top of that, we do have some departmental scholarships. So depending on your major, there might be some that are available. At this point in the semester, a lot of scholarships have already closed, but that doesn't mean that there aren't any that are out there still. So again, if there is a specific major or department that you're wanting to look into, ask your counselor. They can help direct you to the department to see if there are any scholarships that might be available. Another option that we have at Biola is something called a church matching scholarship. So basically, the way that this works is typically if you're really involved in your church at home, they may be willing to help sponsor you to go to Biola. They might want to give you maybe just like a going away gift or a graduation gift or something like that. And if they do, Biola can match that scholarship up to $1,300 per year. So certain students are eligible for this, so it's definitely important to check in with your admissions counselor to see if this might be an option for you. But essentially, you could have up to $2,600 per year just from this scholarship. So, for example, if your church gave you about $500 to go to Biola, they said, "Hey, Nadia, we want to give you this gift of $500." Just to bless you. Then you could actually turn that into the financial aid office, fill out a scholarship application form for it, and then we would match that and you would have $1,000, which anything really helps to pay for college. So this could be something that you're able to look into. Another Biola specific scholarship is called our Restricted Student Scholarship. So these are for current students. So for incoming students, it's not really an option right this second, but when you're a current student, this is just a whole database of scholarships that you can look into. It's a pretty simple process. I personally did this throughout my 4 years that I was at Biola. So essentially, you could apply as a freshman for sophomore year, junior year, senior year for these scholarships to apply for those years. So you fill out a general application form, and then it will get sent to a lot of the scholarships that we have. So these are typically donor-based scholarships. A lot of them are major specific, but some of them aren't. So that's something that you can definitely look into. When you're a current student, just feel free to ask the financial aid office about it, and they would be happy to send it to you. I feel like for me, this was actually a really big help when coming to Biola. I did receive, obviously, an academic scholarship. When I came to Biola, they were a lot smaller than what they are now, but these restricted scholarships for current students really helped me. I received a lot of money from this just by simply applying. So it doesn't hurt to apply. It doesn't hurt to just try and see if you might be eligible, especially because a lot of the scholarships, you just fill out one application and it gets sent to all of them. So you can take 30 minutes to an hour, and this could get you 5,000, 1,000, 500. All of those amounts really add up and start helping bring the cost down for college. So those are a little bit about the scholarships that we have available at Biola. But again, feel free to reach out to your counselor, as there might be other things that come up that we might know about that we could definitely let you in on to apply for. Just keep in contact with your counselor. So we also want to talk about external scholarships, things outside of Biola. So one of the biggest tools that students use is called FastWeb. So if you just type into Google FastWeb, it will pull up a bunch of scholarships. These are definitely a little overwhelming at first because there are hundreds and hundreds of scholarships that are on there. But oftentimes, a lot of these databases have keywords or ways that you can just narrow down the search to be able to make the search more doable for you rather than, oh, I am not a music major, I am a science major, so the music scholarships don't apply to me. Then type in science, type in extracurriculars that you're involved in, type in things that you're passionate about, because you really want to be able to put your best foot forward. You want to be able to write essays that are compelling about things that you're passionate about. If you're not excited to write this essay, definitely the scholarship readers will be able to know that. So make sure that when you're applying for these scholarships, that it's something that you can actually believe in, something that you can get behind. A lot of them are so different. There are really random scholarships on there, and also, again, ones that are major specific. So feel free to look on there. We also have one on our website that is a little smaller than FastWeb or some of the other big scholarship databases, but it's still really helpful to be able to narrow down just different options and other ways to be able to look at that. I know your schools are also closed, but your counselors at your high schools might also be able to help you with some of those scholarships as well, if they know of any that you can apply for in your own local town. I know personally I won scholarships just from like the Elks Lodge in my hometown. So reach out to those places that are close to you. And I think that a lot of times those are a lot easier to get than, say, like the Coca-Cola scholarship. That's the whole world applying for it. So look in your specific town, look in your state, look in ways that can make it easier for you to have a better chance at getting the scholarship. I think when you do that, it's kind of a confidence booster because you're not feeling like this is an impossible scholarship and I'm applying for all these scholarships and I'm not going to get one. Give yourself the benefit of the doubt and also to, I don't know, just be able to apply for these scholarships that will give you the best chance possible. So, from my own personal experience, again, my mom, she is a teacher, so she definitely encouraged me to go to college to be able to apply for scholarships. She pushed this really hard to be able to just spend time looking for scholarships and applying for them. So, personally, I didn't have a job when I was in high school. And she told me my job was to apply for scholarships. So I tried to do that as best as I could. Definitely with all of the stress that happens throughout high school, I know it can be so crazy to try and take time to apply for scholarships. But hey, now you're locked in your house and quarantined. So you have plenty of time to be looking through just these different scholarship databases or to be Googling different scholarships. And I always tell my students just take like an hour a week. Like that is not much of your time to be able to look at scholarships, apply for scholarships, write essays for scholarships, do different things like that. Really use this time wisely. I know it can be easy to binge watch things on Netflix or play video games or do stuff like that. But if you really want to make Biola a reality or another school as well, I think that applying for scholarships will be just a really big and crucial thing to help you and to help your family just alleviate the burden of paying for higher education. So, again, use the extra time wisely. It could be 30 minutes a day, it could be 20 minutes a day, it could just be something that you put into your routine to be able to make the time to apply for these scholarships. But I really think it is crucial to put that into your schedule. Another thing is it's also important to just pull together letters of recommendations from your teachers, from your pastors, from anyone who might know you, mentors. Write some good essays that might just depict who you are as a person. Because some of these scholarships, they have very similar essay topics. And so, think smarter, not harder. Be able to kind of shift things a little bit for just the essay prompt, but have like a really good few essays that you can use for these scholarships. I think that will save you time. I think it will help you as you're applying for scholarships to just utilize your time wisely. And then again, get input from your parents, from friends, from if your teachers are available, sometimes they might be able to as well, just to look over your scholarship, to make sure that you don't have any typos, to make sure that you're spelling things rightly, to make sure that you put your name on it. All of those things that sometimes when you're in a rush or you're just excited or you're nervous that you forget to put on your scholarship applications. So I think it is really crucial to have them look over it. Have another one or two people at least look over your scholarship before you submit it. Because sometimes those things might be what separates you from another student who is also applying for the scholarship. So that was my advice on applying for scholarships right now. But I wanted to encourage you that it doesn't end when you graduate high school. It doesn't end when you leave community college. There are scholarships for basically everyone, for freshmen, for sophomores, for juniors, for seniors, for grad students. There's a lot of scholarships that are out there. It's not just for seniors in high school. So definitely keep an eye out, pay attention to that, and just use your time wisely. That is the best advice I can give. If you're not working right now, definitely make this your job and reach out to your counselor if you have any other questions. And we would love to help make Biola a reality for you. So thanks, guys, for tuning in.